Hello friends, in this session of Building Tabs Manager Live, we are going to refactor our WebSocket server a little bit. So right now, as you can see, it's a lot of switch case and nested code. A lot of this code is repetitive, and also it's all in one big file. Here it's WSS, and I want to split it a little bit, make like something similar to express routing, make it logically grouped, like everything related to links management in its own file and authentication stuff in its own file. So, you know, like it's more polished, not like spaghetti code like this. So let's start. Let me make myself smaller. Since we are going to focus mostly on the code part, I'll make this screen bigger so you can see more. Also, please let me know in the comments if you can easily read the code or you want me to record sessions with the bigger font size. I can easily do that. Okay, cool. So first of all, let's figure out what we have here. We have some context for each connection, which is user ID and session ID. Then we have message parsing, where depending on message.t, which is type, we execute different code. And here we have links code and auth code, and let's first of all split that in their own files. So here in the server, let's create routes, and then one for auth route.ts and one for link route.ts. So this file format is just for me to see in this code tabs what this file is about, because we have a lot of auth.ts here and there on front end, back end, and now it's in roads. So I want it to be a little bit more clear what is it about. And we need to have some function here first of all. Let's call it function auth router. Yeah, so GitHub Copilot thinks it's about Express. What if we add VS router? Will it understand what is it about? Seems like yes, but not much. Okay, what we will need for this function is first of all the type of the message and then the data itself. So where is our function? Oh, this is link. Sorry, wrong file. Let's start with auth. So first of all is type. Type string, yes. Then it's data, which will be any for now, and then it will be WebSocket connection itself. WebSocket. Let me see what type is it here. VS WebSocket.WebSocket. WebSocket, not WebSocket, and I think we need to import it. Import WebSocket from VS, or just WebSocket. I think so. Does it have send? Yeah, it has. Okay. We'll figure out if this is enough or not later. For now, that looks like a solid start. Yeah, it's type. Okay, you want to mark the whole import as type. Okay, fine. So it will return nothing, void for now. And let's move this case switches to there. and maybe we will split it into even smaller files later. So switch type, here our cases, and that's it. We need to import everything. We need to make our function async, so it should return promise void. And now instead of message data, let's replace it with just data. Then we need to also have our context. So let's put WebSocket on the first place, then context on the second place, and then type, and then finally data. So context, we need to define it here. I'll put it inside server folder, so it will be types.cs export interface context, which will be user ID and session ID. For now, that's more than enough, and let's import it here. Yep. Wonderful. So for all this session ID, user ID, we need to add context in the beginning. Figure all of it out. Import missing stuff. Oh wait, this is not swelled hit part. Yeah, we need to use relative path. Okay. Context. Session ID, yep. Okay, Zod error. For some reason, Zod error, VS Code doesn't see it and cannot import it automatically by itself. Okay. Yep. Here we are cleaning the context. So now everything related to authentication sits in this file, and at least this file is just under 100 lines of code, which is much better than what we had before here. So now we should say if something starts with auth slash, it will be auth router. If message t starts with, yeah, we should validate that it is string. Auth router, and here we should define a context. Context. Okay, and we are not waiting for it to finish its part. We need to import it. So it's not function declaration. We can actually import it. Auth router routes auth route. It's not exported. Okay, I got it. My bad. Actually, we can make an index file here and re-export everything from auth route, and also same from link route. Nothing in the link route yet, it's the empty file, so we have this error, but we will finish it in a second. So clean all of that, types. Okay, and now we have WS. We need to pass context to message T, message data. Yep, all of that is correct. Now we need to check that message is actually a string, I mean message.t. So let's use Zod for that. String. Yeah, we need to parse message T. And we can save it to const type. And we can wrap it all into try catch. And send it as it is, or send it as server error. Okay, I need to figure out if there are any unclosed brackets. Okay, now it seems to be valid. So I think this code and this code is quite repetitive, because usually we check for, like, was it Zod error? Was it regular error? I think we can move it to some helper function and use it everywhere. The only thing we need to do is, once we send response, we need some ID of what is it response about, what was the original request, some request ID. Yeah. So let's say front end defines some string request ID and some payload for that request. It sends it to the backend via WebSocket, and we return response back. In the response, we should have same ID, so front end knows, like, oh, this is the response for my request, and that will know exactly what is request. Let's say instead of passing type here and there, in the response we can just pass the ID of it, and front end will know, like, yeah, this is my my request. Well, I might not explain it correctly, but I'll do it in the code and you will see what I mean. Meanwhile, we can make a simple function that will help us simplify stuff, at least temporarily. Let's define helpers.cs function, not function, file, and let's export function. Let's call it WS wrapper. So basically what it will do, it will take WebSocket. By the way, we need to import it web from WS, yes. And also it might take type string. And let's see, let's copy all of this and also try catch type and function. It will be just some function. So run try catch. We'll await it because it can be asynchronous. Catch, then our code here, Let's import sort error. Yeah, we probably need something other than function. So let's define a function that return promise void. This is much better now. So, and type we will use here instead of this thing. So that will be error type. So let's see. We only console error if it is some unknown, unpredictable error, and we don't expose any sensitive data from backend to frontend. But if it is some validation error validated by Zod, we will format it nicely and send to the frontend. Nice. So this way we will avoid this try catch everywhere in our code, here and there. Let's do it. So vs wrapper that takes a function. Takes a function that will be our function instead of try catch. Yeah, one sec. I need to figure out a sync. Yeah, it should be a sync, definitely. Should we import it? No, it's imported. What's the error? Argument for type is not provided. Type. Right. Maybe it should go first. What do you think? Type, WebSocket, and then function. Let's check it out. Type, WS, and function. Function will be the final parameter because it's quite long and it won't be visible if we have some other parameters here. So better put other parameters in front of the function. Cool, so we now avoided try catch and general catch logic with figuring out if it is validation error. We don't need to await any response from the wrapper. Okay, look, the code is shorter now. Let's do same here and see how much shorter it will be. So before it was from line 54 till 81, which is around 25 lines, I think. Yep, that's it. Now it's from 54 till 73. I think, yeah, it's 20 or even shorter. I think one more thing we can do is to return the result of wrapper, so we don't have break. That's -1 line. Same here, we return wrapper for sign out. We don't have catch. Yep, this looks good. Replace this here. Nice. Okay, code is a little bit shorter. I like it, and less repetitive stuff. Now let's do it for resign in, and that will be it. Remove the break, remove the catch section. Instead of try, we return the wrapper stuff. Resign in, and that is it. invalid session. Yeah, let's leave it like it is for now, but later on we need to yeah, I think we need to send the response straight away. Sign in or resign in error data invalid session, let it be, and return. Okay, this way we don't throw out any error, we just straight away send data back. Nice. Okay, let's see what else we can simplify or make shorter here. So first I see VS send and JSON stringify here and there again and again. So why don't we just make a send function, export function send, that will take WebSocket and some data. Some data that we will stringify. Okay, cool. And it won't return anything. And this one is also promise void. Okay, let's try. So just send, no stringify, just wrap it in a curly brackets, import it here. Okay, let's see. Also we need to provide WebSocket. Nice. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, it's now 4. That's a win for sure. Let's do it same here. Send. Yep. And here. I think later on for send we can also implement that request ID stuff that we discussed earlier. Okay, and this is the last piece, return send. Okay, cool. So the code is just 75 lines, much better than it was before. Now we have one more thing here left. By the way, let's use typed message. And also we can use return VS wrapper here. Type is what type will be in this case? Type will be, yeah, just message. Let it be message for now. Okay. And I think we can do is remove these extra brackets. Was it this bracket? Was it this bracket? Which bracket was it? This one. No, not this one. This one. And no semicolon. Okay, less rows. Nice. Should we log what we receive? Yeah, let's do it for now. So here we covered auth scenario. Let's also cover else link scenario, link router. Yep. Everything is the same. We just need to define it. So link router. Nice. I love it. Import all the dependencies. Prisma, context. What's about VS? Ah, right. It should be imported from this package. Okay, looks good. It already wrapped it with WS wrapper. Looks valid. Remove extra stuff here. Link add, let's check that. Link add, success. Okay, well now we can remove this switch. So this construction is also not ideal, but it's a little bit shorter. And now our WebSocket server is under 50 lines of code. Link route is under 25, auth route is under 75. Now it's all separated into each own file, and I like how it looks like now. Okay, let's check that it still works. Let's go back to this view. Let's open terminal, clean it and run the server again. Okay, no errors so far, good sign. We received list of links. We re-signed in. Cool, let's try to add a link. So test1.com something low add, and it was added, no errors, cool. We can sign out, we can sign in, and as far as I remember we have new user ID with longer password now, and we can sign in. Wonderful. So we've refactored our backend stuff. It's shorter, it's better typed. We have helpers that let us repeat less code, and I like it. So let's see what we can do in the next session. We can cover validation here for the links, but this will be very quick and short. One more thing is our user not yet linked to links. So links are like global shared and everyone can add their own links, but we need to store them separately per user. That's one more thing we can do. And also a user profile. But I think let's start with links. That would be more interesting. So thank you for your attention for this session, and see you in the next one. Ciao.